I want you to stop whatever you are doing right now and give me your full attention for the next few minutes, because what I am about to share with you could genuinely save your life, not in a vague, someday kind of way. I mean tonight. I mean the next time you close your eyes and drift off to sleep. Because the truth that most people over 50 do not know is that sleep, the very thing your body needs most to heal and recover, can become one of the most dangerous times of the day if you are doing certain things before you go to bed. And the most terrifying part of all is that the habits causing the danger feel completely harmless. They feel normal. They feel like just another evening routine. But for millions of people over the age of 50, those normal feeling habits are silently setting the stage for a heart attack or a stroke in the middle of the night. Imagine going to sleep tonight and simply never waking up again. Not from some rare disease, not from an unexpected accident, but because of something you did last night, something you did the night before that. Something you have been doing for years without ever realizing the damage it was quietly causing inside your cardiovascular system while you slept. That thought is not meant to frighten you without purpose. It is meant to wake you up, because the information I am about to share with you has the power to change the outcome. It has the power to turn your night from a hidden danger zone into a period of genuine healing and protection for your heart. My name is Dr. Claire Thompson, and I have devoted my career to cardiovascular health, specifically to understanding how the heart behaves in people over the age of 50 and what can be done to protect it. I am a cardiovascular health researcher, and for the past 2 decades, my work has focused on the patterns, habits, and lifestyle factors that silently increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes in older adults. I have reviewed thousands of cases. I have studied the research. I have sat with patients and their families, and one of the most consistent and heartbreaking things I have witnessed throughout my career is people suffering serious cardiac events that were entirely preventable, not because they ignored major warning signs, but because nobody ever told them that the small, quiet things they were doing every single night were putting their hearts at serious risk. Everything I am going to share with you today is grounded in real medical research. This is not opinion. This is not guesswork. This is science that every person over 50 deserves to understand, because your life and the lives of the people you love may genuinely depend on it. I want you to watch every moment of what follows, because I will not only be telling you what the dangers are, I will be giving you a clear, simple, step-by-step plan to protect yourself starting tonight. Before I get into the specific habits that are putting people at risk, I need you to understand something important about what your body is supposed to be doing while you sleep. Sleep is not simply the absence of wakefulness. It is one of the most active and essential biological processes your body performs. During healthy, undisturbed sleep, something remarkable happens inside your cardiovascular system. Your blood pressure naturally drops. Your heart rate slows down to a resting, restorative rhythm. Your blood vessels relax, and your brain initiates a cleaning process where it flushes out toxins that have accumulated throughout the day, including toxins that are directly linked to cognitive decline and cardiovascular stress. This natural nighttime state is called the dipping phase, and it is one of your heart's most important periods of recovery. When this process works the way it is supposed to, you wake up with a rested heart, cleaner blood vessels, and a body that has genuinely repaired itself overnight. But when certain habits disrupt this process, your heart does not get to rest. It does not get to recover. Instead, it is forced to work harder during the very hours when it is supposed to be healing. And in people over 50, whose arteries may already have some degree of stiffness or plaque buildup, that disruption can be the difference between waking up in the morning and not waking up at all. The first deadly nighttime habit that I need to warn you about is something that an enormous number of people do without a second thought. It is eating heavy meals late at night. I understand why it happens. Life is busy. Dinner gets pushed back. You are hungry in the evening, and a large, satisfying meal feels like exactly what your body is asking for. But here is what is actually happening inside your body when you eat a heavy meal close to bedtime. And I want you to understand this clearly because it is far more serious than most people realize. When you eat a large meal, your digestive system demands a significant increase in blood flow to process that food. Your heart has to work harder to pump blood to your stomach and intestines. Your blood pressure rises. Your blood sugar spikes, triggering an inflammatory response throughout your body. And if you lie down while this process is happening, which most people do after a late dinner, you add the risk of acid reflux, which itself creates additional cardiovascular stress. Your body is supposed to be entering its recovery phase in the evening, slowing down, reducing pressure, allowing the heart to rest. Instead, you have forced it into one of its most demanding states at exactly the wrong time. Research has consistently shown that eating heavy meals within 3 hours of bedtime significantly increases the risk of nighttime blood pressure spikes. And for people over 50 who may already have elevated blood pressure, arterial stiffness, or early-stage plaque in their arteries, a blood pressure spike during sleep is not just uncomfortable. It is genuinely dangerous. It creates the kind of pressure that can rupture a vulnerable plaque, release a clot into the bloodstream, and trigger a heart attack or stroke while you are lying completely still in your bed, unaware that anything is wrong. The simple protective measure here is to finish your evening meal no later than 6 or 7 in the evening, and to keep that meal light. This one change alone can significantly reduce the cardiovascular burden on your heart during the night. The second deadly nighttime habit is one that I see across a startling percentage of my patients over 50, and it involves medication. Specifically, it involves skipping nighttime medications or taking them at the wrong time. I know there are many reasons people miss their medications. They forget. They fall asleep early. They feel fine and think it probably does not matter just this once. But when it comes to blood pressure medications in particular, missing even a single dose can have consequences that are far more serious than most people understand. Here is why this matters so much at night specifically. Your blood pressure follows a natural 24-hour rhythm, and one of its most critical moments is in the early morning hours, typically between 2 and 6 in the morning, when blood pressure begins to rise in preparation for waking. This rise in blood pressure is completely normal, but in people who have not taken their medications, that rise can become extreme. It can generate enough pressure inside the arteries to rupture a plaque, a small deposit of cholesterol and inflammatory material that has been building up quietly inside your artery walls. When a plaque ruptures, it releases material into the bloodstream that can form a clot. That clot can block the blood supply to the heart or the brain. And when that happens during sleep, hours may pass before anyone realizes something is wrong. The window for treatment narrows with every passing minute. Taking your blood pressure medications as prescribed at the right time each evening is one of the single most powerful things you can do to protect your heart during the night. If you have been inconsistent with this, I want you to treat tonight as a new beginning. Set a reminder. Ask a family member to help you remember. Do whatever it takes, because this habit, as simple as it sounds, has the power to prevent a life-threatening event. The third deadly nighttime habit is something that millions of people over 50 are living with right now without knowing it. It is undiagnosed sleep apnea, and the cardiovascular consequences of this condition are among the most severe of anything I discuss with my patients. Sleep apnea is a condition where your airway becomes partially or fully blocked during sleep, causing you to repeatedly stop breathing throughout the night. Some people experience dozens of these breathing interruptions every single hour, and most of them have absolutely no idea it is happening. When your breathing stops, even for 10 to 30 seconds at a time, your blood oxygen level drops, and when your oxygen drops, your body triggers an emergency stress response. Your nervous system activates, stress hormones flood your bloodstream, your heart rate spikes, your blood pressure surges, and then you take a breath, and for a brief moment things stabilize, only for the cycle to begin again a few minutes later. Night after night, this cycle of oxygen deprivation and emergency stress response is battering your cardiovascular system in ways that accumulate over time with devastating results. The research on sleep apnea and heart health is unambiguous and deeply alarming. Untreated sleep apnea triples your risk of having a heart attack. It quadruples your risk of having a stroke. It significantly increases your risk of developing dangerous heart rhythm abnormalities. And because most people with sleep apnea are completely unaware they have it, they have no idea that every single night their heart is being subjected to this repeated stress. The warning signs include loud snoring, waking up feeling unrefreshed even after a full night of sleep, morning headaches, and excessive daytime fatigue. If any of those sound familiar to you, or if someone who shares your bed has told you that you stop breathing during sleep, please speak to your doctor about being tested. A sleep study is simple, non-invasive, and could be one of the most important medical appointments you ever make. The fourth deadly nighttime habit is one that I find particularly common among older adults, and it is rooted in a very understandable concern that unfortunately backfires in a dangerous way. Many people over 50 deliberately avoid drinking water in the hours before bed because they do not want to wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. That is a completely reasonable goal. Disrupted sleep is harmful. Getting up in the night is inconvenient. But the unintended consequence of going to bed even mildly dehydrated is something that every person over 50 needs to understand, because it directly increases the risk of a stroke or heart attack during sleep. When you are dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and more viscous. Think of it this way. Well-hydrated blood flows smoothly and easily through your arteries and veins. Dehydrated blood is thicker, stickier, and harder for your heart to pump. It moves more slowly through your vessels, and it is far more likely to form clots. Blood clots that form during sleep can travel to the heart and cause a heart attack, or travel to the brain and cause a stroke. In older adults whose blood vessels may already be narrower due to age-related changes or plaque buildup, the risk associated with thicker blood is significantly higher than in younger people. The solution here requires a small but important shift in how you approach hydration throughout the day. Rather than drinking large amounts of water close to bedtime, which will disrupt your sleep, focus on staying consistently well hydrated throughout the afternoon and early evening. A small glass of water at around 7 in the evening, taken alongside your medications, can help maintain adequate hydration without overloading your bladder. Your heart will be pumping thinner, more fluid blood through your vessels throughout the night, which dramatically reduces the risk of clot formation during those vulnerable sleeping hours. The fifth deadly nighttime habit is one that almost nobody thinks of as a health issue, and yet the research behind it is remarkably clear. The temperature of your bedroom has a direct and measurable effect on your cardiovascular health during sleep, and most people are sleeping in environments that are either too hot or too cold for their heart to function safely. This sounds almost too simple to be true, but the physiology behind it is completely logical once you understand it. When your bedroom is too hot, your body works hard to regulate its core temperature throughout the night. Your heart rate increases. You sweat more, which leads to dehydration, which, as we have just discussed, increases clotting risk. Your sleep quality deteriorates, which means your body does not get the restorative benefit it needs. And your blood pressure, rather than dropping naturally during sleep, remains elevated because your cardiovascular system is in a state of thermal stress. On the other side of this equation, a bedroom that is too cold causes your blood vessels to constrict, narrowing the pathway through which your blood must flow. This constriction raises your blood pressure and increases the workload on your heart at a time when it is supposed to be at rest. The research is very specific about the optimal sleeping temperature, and it falls within a surprisingly narrow range. 18 to 22 degrees Celsius, which is 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, is the range in which your cardiovascular system can most effectively enter and maintain its protective nighttime state. If you do not know what temperature your bedroom reaches during the night, I encourage you to find out. A simple thermometer is all it takes. Adjust your thermostat, your bedding, or your ventilation to bring your sleeping environment into this optimal range. It is one of the easiest changes you can make, and for your heart, it makes a genuine difference. Now, I want to give you something practical, something you can begin using tonight, because understanding the dangers is important, but knowing exactly what to do about them is what actually saves lives. Over the years of my research and clinical work, I have developed what I call a heart-safe night routine, and the studies that have examined structured evening routines like this one show that following a consistent protective nighttime schedule can reduce cardiovascular stress by more than 40%. That is not a small reduction. That is a profound shift in the safety of your sleep, and it is available to you starting tonight. Here is how the routine works. At 6 to 7 in the evening, you sit down to a light dinner. Not a snack, but a proper, nutritious meal that satisfies you without being heavy or rich. Lean proteins, vegetables, and moderate portions are ideal. Finishing your eating by 7 at the very latest gives your digestive system time to do its work before your body needs to begin its cardiovascular recovery process for the night. This simple timing adjustment removes one of the most significant sources of nighttime cardiac stress from your evening entirely. At around 7 in the evening, after your light dinner, you drink a glass of water and take any medications your doctor has prescribed. This is the ideal window for evening medications because it allows them to reach their peak effectiveness during the high-risk period of early morning blood pressure rise. Pairing your medication with your evening hydration makes both habits easier to remember and easier to maintain consistently. Consistency is everything when it comes to blood pressure management. One missed night can create the opening for a serious event. Making this a fixed, non-negotiable part of your evening removes the possibility of forgetting. By 8 in the evening, your focus should be on genuine relaxation. This is the time to step away from screens, from stimulating conversations, from stressful news, and from anything that activates your nervous system. Light reading, gentle music, quiet conversation with someone you love, or simply sitting peacefully are all ideal activities for this hour. The reason this matters cardiovascularly is that stress and mental stimulation elevate cortisol and adrenaline, which in turn elevate your blood pressure and heart rate. Bringing your nervous system into a calm state in the hour before sleep preparation significantly improves the quality and safety of the sleep that follows. At 9 in the evening, it is time to prepare your sleep environment. Check your thermostat and make sure your bedroom is moving toward that optimal range of 18 to 22 degrees Celsius. Dim your lights if you have not already done so, because bright light suppresses melatonin production, which interferes with the natural hormonal processes that support cardiovascular recovery during sleep. Make sure your bedroom is quiet, dark, and cool. These environmental conditions are not just about comfort. They are about creating the physiological conditions under which your heart can most effectively do its repair and recovery work during the night. At 9:30, take care of your bathroom routine and any final preparations for bed. Emptying your bladder before sleep reduces the likelihood that you will need to get up during the night. Getting up suddenly from a deep sleep to go to the bathroom actually causes a rapid blood pressure change that can be dangerous for people with cardiovascular vulnerabilities. Minimizing these nighttime interruptions is an important part of protecting your heart during the most vulnerable hours. By 10 in the evening, you are ready to sleep. And the final piece of this routine involves how you position yourself in bed. For people who snore or who have been told they may have sleep apnea, sleeping on your side rather than your back is significantly safer for your heart. When you sleep on your back, the weight of the soft tissues in your throat is more likely to compress your airway, leading to the breathing interruptions we discussed earlier. Side sleeping keeps the airway more open and reduces the frequency and severity of these episodes. It is a small positional adjustment that can meaningfully reduce the oxygen deprivation and cardiovascular stress that occur with obstructed breathing during sleep. When these steps are practiced together as a consistent nightly routine, the cumulative effect on your cardiovascular health is remarkable. Your blood pressure drops naturally and stays low throughout the night. Your heart operates in its restorative mode without interruption. Your blood remains fluid and free-flowing, reducing clot risk. Your body temperature is regulated without additional cardiac effort. And your medications are working at precisely the right time to prevent the dangerous early morning blood pressure surge. This is what a safe, heart-protective night looks like, and it is absolutely achievable for anyone who is willing to make these small but meaningful adjustments. I want to take a moment now to bring everything together because I know we have covered a significant amount of ground, and I want to make sure the core message is crystal clear. The 5 silent nighttime habits that are putting the lives of people over 50 at serious risk are late and heavy dinners eaten close to bedtime, skipping or mistiming blood pressure and heart medications, undiagnosed and untreated sleep apnea, going to bed in a state of dehydration, and sleeping in a bedroom that is too hot or too cold. None of these feel dangerous. None of them hurt in the moment. None of them announce themselves with warning signs that are easy to recognize. They are silent, they are gradual, and they are deadly in a way that strikes during the most vulnerable hours of the night. But here is what I need you to hold on to with everything you have, because this is the most important thing I will say. The vast majority of nighttime heart attacks and strokes are preventable. They do not have to happen. They are not inevitable consequences of aging. They are the result of specific, identifiable, changeable habits. And when those habits are changed, when the protective routine I have described is put in place, the risk drops dramatically. This is not just my clinical opinion. This is what the research shows consistently and powerfully across study after study. The simple act of finishing dinner early, taking your medications reliably, getting tested for sleep apnea, staying hydrated, and regulating your bedroom temperature can reduce your nighttime cardiovascular risk by more than 40%. That is 40% more protection for your heart during the hours when it is most vulnerable. I have spent 2 decades working to bring this kind of information to people who need it. And I will tell you with complete honesty that nothing in my career is more meaningful to me than knowing that something I have shared has helped someone avoid a tragedy. Because behind every heart attack statistic is a person, a parent, a grandparent, a friend, someone who deserved more time, more mornings, more ordinary evenings with the people they love. And so many of those events did not have to happen. They could have been prevented with the right information, applied consistently, starting on an ordinary night just like tonight. You now have that information. You know what the risks are. You know why they happen. You know exactly what to do to protect yourself. The only thing that stands between where you are right now and a significantly safer, healthier heart is the decision to begin. Not next week, not after your next doctor's appointment. Tonight, Start with one change from this routine tonight. Just one, and then add another tomorrow, and another the day after. Small, consistent steps in the right direction will create a profound shift in the safety and quality of your sleep and the long-term health of your heart. If this information has been valuable to you, and I genuinely hope it has, I want to ask you to do something important right now. Please share this with someone you care about. Share it with your spouse, your sibling, your closest friend, your children who have parents over 50 that they love and want to keep around for as many years as possible. This information has the potential to save a life, and that life could be the life of someone sitting in your phone contacts right now. A simple share takes seconds. The impact it could have is immeasurable. Leave a comment below that says, "I am changing this tonight so that I know this reached you, so that I know you are taking this seriously, so that the community of people watching this can see that they are not alone in making these changes." Your heart has been working without rest for every single moment of your life. It has never once stopped to take a break. It has never asked for anything in return. Tonight, give it what it needs. Give it the safe, restorative, protected sleep it has earned, because you deserve to wake up tomorrow morning, and the morning after that, and every morning for all the years still ahead of you,